everyone, this is Joe Workman, and I'd like to introduce you to the new SpecialFx stack. Now this new SpecialFx stack allows you to configure literally 1,000 or more different visual effects on your web pages. With anything. You could probably play with this stack for hours, having a great time playing around with different visual effects on how you can properly use it within your website. So let's start by previewing SpecialFx and seeing some of the great things that it can do. Now, as we notice, you just saw that after this page was loaded for 5 seconds, this box dropped down. That's one thing you can do. On page load, you can run effects. Maybe show an advertisement or show some new content or show an image, something to kind of grab the user's attention. Other things you can do is somewhat probably some people would label as annoying, but you can bounce things. You can bounce it, you can blink it, you can blow things up, okay? Now, if you notice, these are my sweep button stack. And if you click on these, you can also integrate not only the sweep button, but any visual link or button and have it trigger an effect. So as you saw when I clicked that button, a new image faded in. If I want to fade that out, simply click on it again and it will fade out. Very nice. Now we also can test a slide in effect. We can slide in. And if we want to get rid of these damn annoying buttons, we can simply blow them up. Okay. Now also, we can hover over anything as well. So we've seen we can automatically load effects on page load. We can load things by clicking on buttons or hyperlinks. And we can also hover. So if I hover on this text, we reveal an image of me. Now, as you see, when I hover out, that effect can go away, and all of these are configurable. So let's jump in and see some tips and tricks on how to configure some of these things. Now, it would take me forever to go through all the potential settings that you can configure with the SpecialFx stack. There's just that much you can do with it. However, let's just go through some of these basics. The top stack here, as you saw, faded in 5 seconds after the page loaded. As you see, we can do start effect and start effect on page load. We have on hover, on click, on custom hover ID, and on custom click ID. Now we'll go over some of these other options in a bit. But let's say on page load, we want to hide the stack element on page load. So when the page loads, this doesn't exist. I want to hide it, okay? Because the animation effect, we're going to show the stack, and we're going to use the animation of blind. So basically it blinds down with vertical blinds, it opens down. You can have the repeat animation. So if you have a potential animation where you want to just keep on repeating it, okay, that animation will then, it won't just happen once, it'll keep on going, okay. We have a delay. So 5,000 milliseconds was 5 seconds. So 5 seconds after the page loaded, this animation is triggered, okay? And the speed at which the animation is ran is, of course, 1 second or 1,000 milliseconds. So as you see, you can build upon these to really make different effects. If we wanted something to load 10 seconds or 30 seconds or right after the page loaded, we can make this 0 milliseconds or maybe 100 milliseconds, okay? You can repeat the animation to kind of get a much different feel, okay? And then as you see, we have a lot of different effects, okay? We have standalone effects, which are kind of bouncing, highlights, pulsating, shaking something, resizing it, okay? And then we have things that are kind of like more of like show hide. So I want to show something, or I want to hide it via a blind effect, or I want to explode a particular element on my page and hide it, okay? You can puff something out, you can slide it in and out or up and down, okay? There's a lot of different effects that you see. You can build upon these different settings to make really, really great, complex, and beautiful effects for your website. Now, the last thing I want to really dive into is showing you how you can integrate effects with clicks. Okay, clicking on a link, clicking on sweep button, or clicking on maybe even the default button that ships with stacks too. So that's really simple. Let's go ahead and take this stack for example. Now, if you notice, when we clicked this sweep button up here on the top left, it made this particular image down here reveal itself. So if we click on this SpecialFx stack, okay, we'll see that we have settings set to custom click ID. And I'm setting the ID to fade. So basically, I have it hidden on page load. The animation is fade, and the animation will get kicked off once this custom click ID is clicked. Now, how do we configure this custom click ID? Really, really simple. Within Sweep Button, and this also happens within pretty much within any link within RapidWeaver, highlight your button, click on Set Link. Okay. Now, you will notice inside the link window, you can add your own custom attributes. All you need to do is set the ID to fade, which is the same ID that we configured in the SpecialFx stack. Okay. Now, whenever I click on this sweep button or this link, it will trigger that effect. How cool is that? Now, what's really cool is if you noticed, when I click on this third button, it exploded not only one, but two elements. What this means is that you can actually trigger multiple special effects with a single link. And the way I did that is by configuring the SpecialFx stack for each of these two buttons to contain the same custom ID of explode. So button number 1 has custom ID explode. Button number 2 has custom ID explode. And my sweep button here, which is labeled blow 'em up, is set to have the ID of explode. So when I click on the ID explode, it will trigger the animations for both effects button on 1 and button 2. Now lastly, if you notice this middle button, I have multiple effects tied to it. I have the explode triggered off the third button, and I also have a pulsating effect. So you saw that blinking effect on the button, okay? This really takes your special effects to a whole nother level. Now be cautious, sometimes this will work and sometimes it won't. Sometimes it just makes things extra annoying. In this case, this button made it extra annoying. But used wisely, you can actually make some really great effect combinations by combining special effects on your elements. So I hope you enjoyed the SpecialFx stack. Now go forth and make your websites great.